Hey there, so are you thinking about moving to Golden, Colorado, or maybe you just want to learn a little bit more about the area? Well, in this video, we're going to talk about the pros and cons of Golden, Colorado. Let's get started. All right, Christy Lee here, and if you are new to my channel, I am a local real estate agent and a native of Colorado who does all of my videos about my favorite places to live and visit, places to take your kids when they're bored, and just things like that. So if that's something that interests you, please click subscribe right there. That way you are notified every time I have a new video. All right, so today we're talking about Golden, Colorado, and I absolutely love Golden. I've spent a lot of time in Golden, either working or playing in the area. So I do hold this area very high on my list. So it was kind of hard to come up with some of those cons lists, but I'm gonna give it my best shot. So today I'm gonna talk about the 5 pros, I think, and the 5 cons of Golden, Colorado. I'm gonna start with the pros list and then I'm gonna head to the cons. So please make sure you do stay till the end. That way you do have a full grasp of what Golden, Colorado has to offer. Okay, so my first pro is 100% it's close to the mountains. I mean, you are gonna be right there off of I-70. So if you're somebody who loves to go up to the mountains all the time, you know, maybe you camp or snowboard or ski or whatever that might be, you are literally right there. You could just hop on I-70 and go right up to the mountains anytime, any day. So the proximity to the mountains is going to be phenomenal. So definitely 100% is going to be the mountains. I will also say if you're a hiker, there's so many trails up there. And then one of my personal favorites and definitely a high school hangout is going to be Lookout Mountain as well. So Lookout Mountain is going to be in Golden. It's kind of like a windy road that goes to the top, and there's plenty of places throughout there that you could stop and look out. But it's definitely, back in the day, a makeout spot as well. So definitely make sure you're watching your kids on the weekends if they end up going up there. Anyway, so I would definitely say number one is going to be close to the mountains. Number 2 pro, and again, one of my most favorite things in Colorado in general, and it just happens to be in Golden, is going to be Rocks Amphitheater. I mean, Red Rocks is insane. And if you have not been to Red Rocks, you definitely need to put it on your bucket list. Red Rocks holds some of the best music around the world. Some great people come play their music. They also have Red Rocks, like movie on the rocks during the summertime, so you could go and watch a movie out there and hang out in the Red Rocks Amphitheater. You could go work out there if you are, into that kind of stuff. You could run up and down the stairs, which is crazy because it's super hard. During September 11th, there's the 9/11 walk in Red Rocks Amphitheater, and that's when the firefighters go up and down with their packs supporting, 9/11. So this area is just so beautiful. Red Rocks as a whole, I mean, you could walk around it. You could, there's a bunch of hikes and stuff like that around Red Rocks as well, but the actual amphitheater itself is honestly breathtaking. During Easter, you could go to church services out there. So, it just so happens that Golden actually has it right there in its city limits, and definitely something that you need to go check out. All right, number 3 on the pros list, and to kind of piggyback off of the first 2, is the views. I mean, the views in Golden, Colorado are phenomenal because, you're right there. So regardless of where you're living or even driving around, you're going to see the mountains. You're going to see those views. And so it's just a great place. If you're somebody who loves the outdoors, you want to utilize all the views, or, have a house that has views, Golden is going to be it. It's absolutely amazing place with spectacular views of the mountains, but you could also actually see the city as well. So you could be facing east and you could be seeing the whole entire skyline of Denver, which is phenomenal as well, especially at nighttime. It looks so pretty. All right, so speaking of Denver, that goes to number 4 on my pros list. And that even though it's on the west side of Denver, it's a suburb of Denver, you're actually still gonna be pretty close to Denver. So you could hop on either 6th Avenue or even I-70 down to 25, and you could get to Denver really in no time, especially if you're on 6th Avenue. So, I mean, you could take that going east, probably getting to Denver about 20-25 minutes, and you also have the light rail. So you could take the light rail down into Denver. So it's really close. So if you are somebody who works in Denver or even still goes into Denver quite a bit, whether that be for baseball games, basketball games, anything like that, or if you just like to go down to the nightlife scene of Denver, but want to live on the west side with the, the wildlife and the mountains and stuff like that, Golden is going to be great because you could still get there in 25 minutes. All right, last but not least is my number 5 pro, is that Golden actually has a really cool downtown historic area. So, whether you're living on the outskirts of Golden, more towards I-70, or in the internal parts of Golden where the downtown area is, it's really, really cool area. There's a bunch of restaurants, there's bars, there's Coors Brewery is gonna be out there too. So if you have family or friends visiting the area, you could take them over to Coors, which is really cool. There's just like a really cute, they keep it very historic. They have, festivals with the horses and stuff like that goes up and down, like for Golden Days. It's a really great area. And again, you're going to be super close to the mountains as well. So, once you're hanging out there, then you could head up to, you could go up to Black Hawk or Central City and go gambling, because that's really close too. So it's just a great location to do a lot of things, especially if you're either just visiting or if you have family in town who you could show around. These are some great places to take them, Golden, and then you could go right up to the mountains to go to all the other places. Okay, so now we're on my cons list, and it was a little bit hard to come up with a cons list because I really do love Golden a lot, but I will say definitely 100% the biggest con of Golden is the price of homes out there. They are pretty pricey, and again, it's just because you are going to be so close to those mountains. Average price point for a house out in Golden is going to start right around that mid 700s, so 750, and then going well up into the $1 million. You're paying a pretty penny just to live in that area, to get those views, and to be close to the mountains. And then to also kind of piggyback on the price of homes, number 2 on the cons list is, I will say, Golden is going to be a little bit older community, older city, so there's not a really, they're going to be they're older homes. So you're going to be paying, mid 700s plus, but it's going to be an older home. You're not going to have a whole lot of the new build communities. Don't get me wrong, there are a few. They're going to be hovering probably closer towards the Arvada side, because Arvada and Golden kind of mesh together. So they will be on the closer to the Arvada side, but you can get a new build, but they're really not as prevalent as the older homes out there. So just kind of keep that in mind. If you want to live in the Golden area, you are going to be more of an older house, which is completely great, because I mean the views and they are amazing, and they're going to be really well kept too. The people out there really take pride in their homes in that area. So that's just something to think about. Okay, so number 3 on the cons list is, I wouldn't say there's like a whole lot of amenities in Golden. Now, don't get me wrong, you're gonna have your shopping center, your King Supers and your grocery stores, things like that. But it's not gonna be as prevalent as like a major mall or anything like that. You will have the Colorado Mills, which is going to be, it's Lakewood essentially, but it kind of piggybacks right up on Golden. They're across the street from each other. So you will have the Colorado Mills Mall, but it's more of an outlet mall, so it's not going to be your normal mall that you're probably used to. And then you will have obviously shopping and restaurants around it, but it's not, these are all like relatively new. Golden and Wheat Ridge are kind of really close to each other too. So I know Wheat Ridge is kind of revamping its look all along I-70. So that used to be pretty ran down. Well, now they've, you know, revamped it, and actually it looks really, really great. So Golden's going to be able to feed into those stores as well. But overall, I wouldn't say Golden is going to be like your hot spot to go shopping or dining, especially, you know, in the mountain area. You're not going to have those major things once you start getting more into those mountains. Old Town, or the historic part of Golden, you're going to have more of the boutiques and the breweries, the pubs, you know, places like that, but not those big box stores. Okay, so number 4 on the cons list is going to be traffic. And the reason I say traffic is because it is right, Golden is going to be right on I-70, or right around I-70, and so you're going to get a lot of mountain traffic. People are coming and going up to the mountains, so you do need to keep that in mind. When it's snowing especially, you're probably going to have a lot more traffic over in that area. There tends to be a lot of construction over in that area. So, I mean, is that a huge con? No, because you're probably part of the traffic if you're going to be going up to the mountains. And there's plenty of back ways too. But, you know, I do want that to be, you know, on kind of your forefront, just knowing, because you're hitting all of that mountain traffic for people who are coming and going from the mountains year round. Okay, and the last one, number 5 on the cons list, is going to be, because you are closer to the foothills, Golden is, you probably are going to have a lot more wind and snow coming off of the foothills. Again, is this a negative? In my opinion, no, but just kind of something to be aware of, that you probably will have definitely more wind, just because it's coming directly off of those foothills. And then maybe some more snow, maybe not. I mean, it's just going to depend on how much snow the mountain gets, I guess. But in all reality, do I think that's a major con? No. I mean, it's Colorado, so, you know, it's going to be gone pretty right after it snows anyways, within a couple days. But just something to kind of keep in mind. Okay, so those are my pros and cons list of Golden, Colorado. Again, it was kind of hard to come up with that cons list, because I really do think very, very highly of Golden. I think it's such a cute little area right outside of Denver, and great location if you are wanting to pay for that price point, but especially if you're an outdoors person who loves to go up to the mountains. Again, I am Christy Lee. I am a local real estate agent in the area and a native of Colorado. Please reach out to me if you have any questions regarding Golden, or any other city for that matter. I'd love to help you. I help people all the time move to Colorado. I love hearing from you. I am the person who answers those phone calls and text messages. Remember to click subscribe right there. That way you are notified every time I have a new video. Until the next video, take care.